evening, comes it is me, Skinhead. But here we are going to be talking about the second volume of Tsitsi Dangarembga's Nervous Conditions trilogy, The Book of Not. I want to let you know that I do think it's extremely vital that you check out my Nervous Conditions book review, because all the story there feeds into this one. So I will leave a link down below. Please check that out first before you carry on with this. I'm assuming you watched it. 3, 2, we're all adults, so I'm not going to get to one. We leave Nervous Conditions with Tambu starting her education in the boarding school. Now, the Book of Not sees the continuation of that, and really we see the school days of Tambu, and towards the end, Tambu beginning to have a career, but everything never goes to plan. This really is the Book of Not. It's things that are not going right. It's Tambu not achieving what she wants. It's her not reaching the expectations of Baba Makuru. It's her not being able to find home. It's about her not being able to fit in her country. It's about her not being able to progress. Now, before I go on, you've probably not heard of this book, and I had a really hard time obtaining this and getting it in my hands. It's definitely one of the more obscure books ever that I've had to juggle for, and really I could only find this from a third-party seller on Amazon because no one else has it. No one has this book. A quick side note, isn't this the most ugliest cover you have ever come across? I hear be at an Arts Council England. Can you just up your game? Because if you just had a decent cover, just make it all white and stick the title on, people will buy it. But this, no one wants this on their bookshelves. It's what is it? What is that? What is it? It's got nothing. It's got no. I did a tangent and I can't remember my original train of thought. Okay, before we do a deep dive, you want to know, is this book not good? This opening chapter is so adrenaline filled that it's an absolute feat. You have no idea where you are. There's smoke in the distance, the dust is in your eyes, and you, like Tambu, are trying to figure out what is going on around you. We start off Nervous Conditions with that brilliant first line where Tambu is saying that she was not sorry, she was not guilty, she was not sad at the death of her brother Namo. Here we have a leg flying up into the sky. Her sister has stepped on a landmine and is completely disfigured from the first sentence. The setting of this book is Rhodesia, and slowly throughout the novel we see the resistance, we see the freedom fighters, we see the army, we see the leaders move towards Zimbabwe, a new place for the people of Rhodesia to become their own, to become independent, to have the country that they want. So while Rhodesia is trying to uproot itself in order to firmly plant its own new identity, we have Tambu's mind being pulled apart. She's not sure of her identity. Is she Rhodesian? Is she Zimbabwean? Is she colonized now with the colonists gone? Is she now more so herself than ever before? Tambu's mental state about who she is as a person is constantly becoming disfigured almost. We constantly have harking back to this dismembered leg. And whenever the story talks about Rhodesia forming into Zimbabwe, Tsitsi Dangarembga beautifully embodies this split into the story, where we start off with a first person narrative, we then move into third person, we move into second person as we go throughout the novel. Here I want to mention that Tambu also has an out-of-body experience almost, where she is saying something but she is not sure who is saying it. She only recollects later during fights with the other African girls in the door room. She seems to completely forget and can't figure out why that has happened, why she is becoming violent towards her own people. But we don't know who her own people are. And really in this story, we have this philosophy, the Shona philosophy of Unhu. Dangarembga highlights that Unhu is personhood. And it's not about the self, it's about the collective whole. Tambu tells us time after time again, she cannot obtain Unhu unless other people are obtaining Unhu at the same time. You can see how Unhu becomes very difficult to obtain when people have their own identities, yet the country is trying to force an identity on the people as a whole. The people who are fighting for the right to have Zimbabwe on the map want people to be free. They want to break the chains of the colonists, which is a good thing. Tambu struggles to fit into school because there's unwritten rules that white students should not touch the black students. They are segregated from toilets. They are segregated from activities, especially sports. So when Tambu becomes the cleverest person in that school, the accolade that she builds her entire school days around for obtaining the best O levels, on paper she should get that, but she's beaten by a white girl due to, though she hasn't got the best grade, she has sporting prowess, but Tambu was unable to do sport. She was not allowed, she was hindered. She was hindered because of the colour of her skin. But even as Zimbabwe is formed, Tambu is constantly facing the same battles as she did in Rhodesia. She is stuck in a place that no matter what she does, no matter what she fails at, no matter what she excels at, no matter what she tries to do to better or worsen herself, she is constantly stuck in limbo. It does not matter how flexible Tambu is. She could break her spine, she could smash her knees, she could carve off her own leg, but the bar will constantly shift with her, given the exact same distance. She might as well walk underneath it, head up high, chin up, chest out, guns are blazing, but the bar would always by mere millimeters make her lose and fall. I mentioned in my last review that Nervous Conditions is not Tambu's story, more so it is the story of the other woman, but the Book of Not is solely Tambu's story. We do not deviate to anyone else. We are not given backstory, we are not given memories, we are not given anything else bar Tambu's own personal. Why would you have a shopping delivery at this time of night? Ugh. This is why I script my own videos where was I? Yes, this is Tambu's story. This is her culture, this is her heritage, this is her language, this is her experience, and under her are the flames of a new country, and what the flames evaporate is Tambu. Herself is not her anymore. Tambu is constantly surrounded by invasiveness. Her boarding school is surrounded with invasive species, exotic species of plants. Even one of the white girls in her school, Bougainvillea, is named after a plant. She's absolutely looked on in every way, shape or form, be that by Bamakuru, be that by her head mistress, be that with the 5 other girls she has to share a 3-person dormitory with. Every private moment that Tambu wants to have, she is constantly being looked on, she is constantly being spoken about, she is constantly being spoken to. She has nowhere to hide. She is constantly on show. yet she is in the shadows. She will be forgotten by everyone. For someone who the spotlight is on, she is but a person to everyone else. She's not special. She's not an individual. And Tambu herself doesn't believe that Tambu exists. I think it's an absolute shame that this book is not spoken about. It's not well received as the others, because this is brilliant. This is a 8 out of 10 for me. Yes, it is better than Nervous Conditions, but you need to read Nervous Conditions to fully understand this book. This is not a standalone book at all. I think you know what's coming. We've read Nervous Conditions, we've read the Book of Not, so now, a few days' time, my review of this Mournable body, the one longlisted for Booker 2020. If this is anything like the Book of Not, I feel as though you will need the other 2 books to fully appreciate this. But I do hope we have more fragmentation. We have more of a understanding to the loss that Tambu has of herself, of her unhu, of who she is as a person. What Tsitsi Dangarembga is doing in this series is absolutely fantastic, and I am so grateful for the Booker Prizes for longlisting this, because there's no chance I would have even read these 2. If there's anything the Booker can do... Oh, it looks like I have 3 eyes. What if I... Hey! That's going to be the thumbnail. I do hope Booker gives life to this series, and at least we have a nice looking cover, so I can replace this like straight away. Have you read this? Are you interested? Would you agree? Would you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. I've been Kieran. It's been dark. Bye!